The for sale sign is sun-bleached, the paint is peeling, and the lawn has turned to brittle brown straw. This house isn't a home anymore. It's a grim warning for anyone thinking about investing here, a tombstone for someone's life savings. Yet the listings still call it a charming opportunity. Let's be real, this is no opportunity. It's a financial graveyard where equity goes to die. In the next few minutes, we'll take you through 10 American cities where houses are sitting vacant, rotting on the market, and refusing to sell. These are the places turning into buyer quicksand in 2025, and if you're not careful, they could swallow your wallet whole. Consider this your survival guide to America's emerging zombie housing markets. And don't just assume these disasters are limited to overpriced coastal cities. Some of the worst markets are hiding in areas you'd never expect. In fact, our number 2 city is a place where homeowners are abandoning properties because insurance costs exceed their monthly mortgage payments. If you're tired of being misled by glossy listings and market cheerleaders, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's hit the road and expose the real estate traps you need to avoid. Number 10. Phoenix, Arizona. Driving into Phoenix feels like entering a mirage. Endless desert sprawl, cookie-cutter subdivisions, and searing heat that never lets up. For years, Phoenix was marketed as the new American frontier, a place to buy affordable homes and live the dream. But in 2025, that dream is cracking under the weight of too many homes and not enough water. According to the Arizona Regional MLS, housing inventory in Phoenix has surged dramatically, with new and existing homes flooding the market. Builders are offering 6-figure discounts and still struggling to close deals. CoreLogic's latest report shows prices in many new developments already falling significantly from their pandemic-era highs. But this isn't just about higher mortgage rates. It's about survival. Home buyers are now questioning whether the region even has enough water to sustain this level of growth. The Arizona Department of Water Resources has halted new housing permits in some areas, citing a 100-year groundwater shortage. Headlines about the Colorado River drying up have made would-be buyers nervous, turning Phoenix into a market defined by fear. The result is a growing number of unsold homes baking under the desert sun, a zombie housing market created not by a financial crash, but by an ecological crisis. So here's the real question. Is owning a house in the Valley of the Sun worth it if you may one day have to truck in your own water just to live there? Number 9. Beaumont, Texas. Drive into Beaumont, Texas, and the Gulf humidity hits like a wall. Oil refineries loom on one side, waterlogged fields stretch out on the other, and the unspoken truth hangs heavy. This isn't a question of if the next storm will hit, it's when. After years of devastation from hurricanes like Harvey, Imelda, and Laura, the financial backbone of Beaumont's housing market is crumbling. Private insurers have fled the region, labeling it a red zone. According to the Texas Department of Insurance, many homeowners are now forced onto the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association, the state's insurer of last resort, and the premiums are brutal. Homeowners report paying $8,000 to $10,000 annually just for basic wind coverage. Add FEMA-mandated flood insurance, and the carrying costs become crushing. The Beaumont Board of Realtors reports days on market routinely exceeding 100 days for homes not deeply discounted, as buyers balk at the lifetime expense. This isn't just a housing slowdown, it's a slow-motion collapse. Buyers are realizing that the sticker price is only the start. Owning a home here means living under constant threat, both financial and physical. Every storm season brings the risk of losing everything, even if you can afford the coverage. In Beaumont, the only thing rising faster than the Gulf waters is the cost of pretending it won't happen again. At what point does home ownership become a nightmare you have to pay for year after year? Number 8. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is unlike any other city in America. The music, the food, the historic architecture. It's easy to see why people fall in love with it. But in 2025, that romance hides a brutal truth. New Orleans is at the center of America's insurance crisis. This isn't just about rising premiums, it's about insurers abandoning the state entirely. According to the Louisiana Department of Insurance, major carriers have pulled out of the market, leaving Louisiana citizens the state-run insurer of last resort with an exploding number of policies. That means if you can even get coverage, you'll pay some of the highest rates in the country. And there's no guarantee your policy will be renewed next year. The result? A housing market grinding to a halt. Local MLS data shows homes sitting for months, not because they lack charm, but because buyers can't get insurance, and no insurance means no mortgage. Even cash buyers are hesitating, knowing one letter of non-renewal could turn their dream home into a financial liability. This is more than a market correction. It's a city held hostage by risk. The real cost of a home in New Orleans isn't the listing price. It's the looming threat of hurricanes and an insurance system on the brink. Would you buy a house knowing that tomorrow it might be uninsurable? That's the gamble New Orleans homeowners face every single day. Number 7. Killeen, Texas. This is it, the end of the road. We've seen bubbles, insurance crises, and investor-fueled manias, but Killeen, Texas, is in a league of its own. Drive into town and you immediately sense it. This isn't a city built on multiple industries. It's a single industry waiting room. Every shop, restaurant, and house exists for one reason: Fort Cavazos, the largest active-duty armored post in the U.S. military. That total dependency is exactly what makes this the most fragile housing market in America. A 2024 Go Banking Rates analysis, which ranked cities most vulnerable to a housing crash, projected that in a severe downturn scenario, Killeen home values could plunge by up to 54%. That's not a correction. That's financial annihilation. The reason is brutally simple. Killeen's economy has a single point of failure. If a future BRAC, base realignment and closure, decision downsizes or relocates troops from Fort Cavazos, demand for housing vanishes overnight. The renters, the buyers, the entire economic engine of the city literally packs up and leaves. Data from the Fort Hood Area Association of Realtors already shows early warning signs in 2025. Inventory is climbing and homes are sitting on the market longer. Every for sale sign here is more than a listing. It's a prayer that the Pentagon doesn't decide to pull the plug. Killeen isn't just risky, it's a housing market built on a trapdoor. And if it opens, there's nothing to catch you. Number 6. Las Vegas, Nevada. As you approach Las Vegas, the glittering skyline still promises excitement and quick fortunes. But the biggest gamble in 2025 isn't on the Strip. It's in the suburbs, where thousands of short-term rental properties have turned into financial disasters. Just a few years ago, investors were buying homes across Las Vegas like poker chips, banking on endless Airbnb bookings and record tourist demand. But according to the Las Vegas Realtors Association, the market is now flooded with investor-owned properties as Clark County cracks down on unlicensed short-term rentals, issuing heavy fines and forcing many listings offline. The result? A massive sell-off. Redfin's 2025 housing market data shows inventory spiking in neighborhoods popular with short-term rental investors, while days on market have more than doubled. Homes that once produced steady cash flow now sit empty. Identical shells with gray paint, cheap vinyl flooring, and no buyers in sight. This isn't just a housing correction, it's a collapse of an entire business model. When thousands of nearly identical homes hit the market at the same time, prices drop fast. And because Las Vegas's economy is tied so closely to tourism, any dip in visitor numbers magnifies the pain for homeowners and investors alike. For sellers, it feels like a bad beat. For buyers, it could still be a risky bet. The question is, will Las Vegas's housing market recover, or are we witnessing the end of the short-term rental gold rush? Number 5. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Drive down Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach and it feels like summer never ends. Neon arcades, seafood buffets, and vacationers crowding the Strip. For years, this tourist magnet was an investor's dream. Buy a home, list it on Airbnb, and let the rental income pay the mortgage. But in 2025, that dream has turned into a nightmare. According to the Coastal Carolinas Association of Realtors, single-family home inventory has exploded, fueled by investors dumping properties they can no longer rent profitably. What was once a reliable side hustle has become a financial drain. Nightly booking rates have plummeted under the weight of oversupply, turning cash flow positive vacation rentals into monthly money pits. Redfin's data shows average days on market have nearly tripled since the pandemic peak, and over a third of all listings have already slashed prices. The result? A housing market overrun by zombie properties, empty, identical vacation homes, bleeding owners dry with mortgages, HOA fees, and rising coastal insurance costs. Myrtle Beach's seasonal, low-wage economy simply cannot sustain the avalanche of short-term rental units investors built their hopes on. This is no longer just a local problem. It's a warning for every vacation rental hotspot in America. The short-term rental boom may be coming to an end, leaving thousands of amateur landlords stuck holding the bag. Is Myrtle Beach the canary in the coal mine for the entire STR market? Or will this beach town recover once the dust settles? Number 4. Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho once looked like the ultimate American dream. Clean air, mountain views, and a booming housing market fueled by remote workers fleeing expensive coastal cities. But in 2025, the story has changed. Those for sale signs are sitting longer, and the so-called Boise boom is showing serious cracks. Boise was one of the hottest housing markets during the pandemic, but that frenzy created a massive real estate bubble. At the peak, homes sold in just days. Now, according to Redfin's 2025 housing data, the average home sits on the market for more than 60 days, with inventory climbing. Zillow reports prices have dropped more than 15% in some zip codes, yet the median home price still hovers near $500,000. That's the heart of the crisis: affordability. Local wages can't keep up. The National Association of Realtors confirms Boise has one of the most stretched price-to-income ratios in the country. Teachers, nurses, and first responders, the backbone of the city, are completely priced out. This isn't just a housing market cool-down. It's an affordability crisis leaving locals trapped while investors and out-of-state buyers walk away. Boise is now a cautionary tale for overheated housing markets everywhere. So, is this just a pause before the next boom, or the beginning of the end for Boise's pandemic-era gold rush? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Number 3. Austin, Texas. Drive down I-35 into Austin, Texas, and you'll pass a skyline full of cranes and gleaming office towers. But the boomtown vibe is fading fast. Once the poster child for the tech migration and a next Silicon Valley contender, Austin is now one of the sharpest housing market downturns in the country. During the pandemic, tech workers with six-figure salaries flooded the city, pushing the median home price close to $900,000 for a modest 3-bedroom. But according to Zillow's 2025 housing market data, prices have dropped more than 18% from their peak. Redfin reports that homes that once sparked bidding wars now sit on the market for months, with sellers slashing prices and builders offering steep incentives that still can't attract buyers. The tech slowdown is the key culprit. Major companies have announced hiring freezes and layoffs, shrinking the buyer pool and draining demand. And for those who did buy at the top, there's a painful reality. Texas has no state income tax, but its property taxes are among the highest in the nation. Many Austin homeowners pay $20,000 or more per year in taxes on houses that are losing value. This isn't just a market correction, it's a slow bleed. Austin's affordability crisis and declining tech job base have turned a once red-hot housing market into a warning sign for other boomtowns. Is this just a reset for Austin real estate or the start of a deeper slide? Share your thoughts below. Number 2. Jacksonville, Florida. Crossing into Florida, Jacksonville might seem like a safe haven compared to Miami's chaos or Orlando's tourist sprawl. Known as a blue-collar port city, it has long been branded as Florida's affordable option. But in 2025, that affordability is a myth, and the hidden cost is destroying the housing market. The problem isn't the home prices, it's the skyrocketing cost of homeowners insurance. According to Florida's Office of Insurance Regulation, premiums in Northeast Florida have doubled or even tripled in a single year. Homeowners who once paid $3,000 are now seeing bills of $7,000 or more for the same coverage. Jacksonville's geography makes the situation worse. The city wraps around the St. Johns River, which is vulnerable to storm surge. FEMA's new flood maps have pushed thousands of homes into high-risk zones overnight, forcing buyers to purchase expensive flood insurance on top of their standard coverage. Zillow's 2025 market data shows listing prices holding steady, but home sales are slowing dramatically. Many buyers are walking away at closing after experiencing insurance shock. The Northeast Florida Association of Realtors reports listings are sitting longer, with monthly carrying costs climbing by $600 or more just for insurance. This isn't a traditional housing bubble. It's a budget killer. The house might look affordable on paper, but the total cost of ownership makes it financially unsustainable. The real question: if your insurance bill doubled tomorrow, could you afford to stay in your home? Number 1. Cape Coral, Florida. Cross the Caloosahatchee River into Cape Coral and you'll see a city that looks perfect on paper. Endless canals, boat docks at every home, and a lifestyle built around waterfront living. But in 2025, that dream has turned into a nightmare. Cape Coral is facing one of the most severe housing market crises in the country. Hurricane Ian didn't just devastate homes, it broke the financial infrastructure that made this market possible. According to the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association, active single-family home listings have tripled since the storm. Thousands of properties now sit unsold, many of them quick investor flips that buyers are refusing to touch. The reason is simple: insurance. In many cases, coverage is either impossible to get or so expensive it dwarfs the mortgage payment. Homeowners report premiums so high they're effectively priced out of staying in their own homes. Zillow's Q2 2025 data shows homes sitting on the market for over 100 days, with price cuts becoming standard. This is no longer just a slowdown, it's a frozen market. The dream of waterfront living has become a financial trap, leaving owners with rapidly depreciating assets in one of the most storm-prone areas of the country. Cape Coral isn't just dealing with a market correction, it's staring down an existential crisis. These aren't just listings, they're ticking time bombs, waiting for the next hurricane to finish what Ian started. Would you stake your entire financial future on a house whose value depends on forces you can't control? From insurance companies to interest rates to decisions made in Washington, D.C.? Today's countdown proves one thing: a home isn't always an asset. Sometimes it's a very expensive trap with fresh paint and a manicured lawn. We've driven through tech-fueled ghost towns, insurance dead zones, and cities one storm or budget cut away from collapse. The listing price is only the beginning. The real cost is hidden in the risks no one wants to talk about. Did we miss your city? Is your market a safe bet or a ticking time bomb? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next hard truth. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.